right, get into the second hour on this lovely Tuesday. And we're going to go right to our good friend Nikki Chavanelle, covering recruiting and everything else Arkansas athletics for Rivals. And it's been 2 weeks since we last heard her lovely voice because Nikki had her wisdom teeth removed last Tuesday. So 7 days after you had these new holes created in your mouth, Nikki, how you feeling? I guess not so well. You feeling okay? Does she hear me?
Oh, let's see here. You there, Nikki?
Well,
she's on there.
Hello.
There we go.
Hi,
We got Nikki.
Hi, I hear you. Hopefully you hear me. You feeling all right
I
a week
didn't
later?
lose my vocal cords, guys. Just my
That's right. That's right. All right, so you are feeling
She's
okay.
not on the line.
Well,
And now you got dropped.
And then we just lost her. Okay, so interesting things to happen. I think our network had a 3-day weekend as well. But we'll work on getting Nikki back here, and I'm sure she's just fine. Sounded like she was okay. I had one wisdom tooth out, actually two, on the right side at the age of 24. And that did knock me out for a good long while. It was a little difficult to talk for 4 or 5 days.
I did mine right after.
Did your wisdom teeth out yet?
Got mine out let's see, that would have been the Thanksgiving of 2018. Had both of my four of mine taken out
after Thanksgiving.
Before Thanksgiving. So we did it that way. I did it during Thanksgiving break when I was teaching because I would rather have the Christmas holiday. Plus, during Christmas, we had a big, giant Christmas basketball tournament that we did. Didn't want to lose that payday. So I did mine prior to Thanksgiving. I was good to go by Thanksgiving. It didn't bother me as much.
All that matters to me is be able to eat Thanksgiving dinner. That's
absolutely.
all that matters.
I think we got Nikki back connected. Nikki, you good now?
Yeah, guys, I'm here.
There we go.
Okay. All right. Everything's good. Your voice is good. Sounds like you're having no problem forming words and everything. So let's just get right into it. 14 Razorback commits played over the weekend. I wanted to ask about Jermaine Jordan Hamilton, hybrid linebacker, nickel. I know there's a lot of kids you could describe like that, but he had 17 tackles on Friday. You tell me about Jermaine Jordan Hamilton?
Yeah, I mean, he's really versatile, so his defense has him all over the field. So 17 tackles doesn't surprise me, although I don't have that as an official number from his coach. That is what Jermaine posted himself. So fingers crossed that is an accurate representation of his activity on Friday night. But yeah, that doesn't surprise me because he is just all over the field. A underrated guy on the commitment list, but the coaches liked him right away because of his versatility.
Yeah, and you see a lot of that as far as on the defensive side is concerned, because now I think Coach Pittman was talking about that over the weekend as far as having, linebackers essentially do the two things. I mean, you got to drop them back into coverage, and they've got to be able to cover tight ends and slot receivers, and you've got to be able to stop the run too. And essentially, that's the same thing you're asking from a safety. So I mean, you talk about a hybrid linebacker nickel. That's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and Arkansas has two more traditional linebacker commits as well. So it doesn't really, matter if he doesn't fully, fill in or anything. He can still play safety or nickel, and they have two other guys like Christopher Paul from Georgia. He's a whopping 237 right now is what his dad tells me, although he's looking a little heavier than that. Our own analyst posted a picture of him at Crisp County on Friday night, and he's looking like he might be moving towards the defensive line, but I'm sure he'll slim down.
How about the two quarterbacks that are commits for the 2021 class? Lucas Coley, he's had a couple of games already, and Landon Rogers had a nice season opening performance against the new high school in Southwest Little Rock.
Yeah, Lucas Coley. So at Cornerstone Christian, they're independent, so they go around and play wherever. They play Trinity Christian this week, and that is where Deion Sanders is the offensive coordinator, and that program brings in a lot of D1 athletes, and especially right now, some athletes who their home state, couldn't play, so they decided to transfer and go to Trinity Christian. So they had a tough time on Friday night, but Lucas did really well himself. He had 259 yards passing and 4 scores. So if that tells you anything, that Trinity Christian is a pretty good school that they were playing. And then Landon Rogers, he's been doing really well. He had, I think, 3 touchdowns, 1 to Aaron Outley on Friday night. So I like what we're seeing from both of them so far. I don't have, completion numbers, so I don't know what their completion percentage is right now, but they both complete, at a 55% or higher rate, which is typically what you see of these dual threat guys.
Hogs added 1 commit last week. I don't think we had a chance to talk with you about him. And it is Keytron Jackson, somebody that you had forecasted would choose Arkansas. He is the first 4-star commit, according to Rivals, on Sam Pittman's 2021 class.
Yeah, that was a very, very huge one. I'd heard that he was getting closer to a decision, but his most recent visit was to Texas. He had just gone to Austin just to see what the campus looked like, so it was kind of trending that way for a while, but I knew from Arkansas' side they were not going to stop at all, going to go full speed for him, tell him, it doesn't matter how long it takes, we're going to hold the spot for you, and he finally decided to commit. He is, I think, on Rivals, a top 200 player. He's 183 in the national rankings. And, at 6'1", he is a little bit different than the guys Coach Stepp has brought in to this point. But him and Kendall Briles sold Corey Cole to him, who is a receiver at Baylor, who was just 5'11", I think. So kind of a similar thing there. And Coleman had over, I think, 1,300 yards his junior season.
Speaking to Nikki Chavanelle here on halftime. Sorry, my headphones jacked up. Speaking to Nikki Chavanelle here on halftime. Nikki, when you look at kind of how the commits have looked so far, we just spoke about Lucas Coley and Landon Rogers. How about some of the other commits that the Hogs have for 2021? How have those looked so far?
Sorry, repeat that.
How have some of the commits look for the 2021 class, other than we've spoke about Lucas Coley, Landon Rogers? How about some of the other commits? How have they looked so far during their senior years of high school?
Yeah, well, so far everyone's doing pretty well. From the reports that I put together, the kicker's having a tough time. Sophomore just isn't a very good program, so he's getting to punt a lot, but, that's fine. Javion Hunt over at Carl Albert in Oklahoma, he had a really good week, 139 yards. And then A.J. Green, despite losing to Broken Arrow, he still put up over 100 yards as well. So both running backs are, getting their yards in. Marco Avant had a good week, 12 tackles and a sack. Solomon Wright, who couldn't play last week at Gravette, I was going to go see him. He ended up playing this past week and had 3 tackles for loss from his defensive tackle spot. So a good day for him as well. It's early, but it looks like most of these kids, have stayed in shape for the most part, besides Paul, who I told you put on a little weight, but everyone's looking good.
When you look at some of these commits that the Hogs have gotten so far, we know what we get with Lucas Coley. You know what you get with Landon Rogers. If you're a fan, who would you say the one Hog commit that you would say you think fans need to go out and see on a Friday night here soon, just to kind of get a glimpse of what they could bring to the football field for the Razorbacks in the coming years?
Well, I think the offensive line commits that Arkansas has are a little underrated, and then people just might not know as much about them. Terry Wells down in Wynn. I'm not sure how many people are around there that can go see him easily, but he's already having a good season, off to a 2-0 start, I believe. And then Cole Carson at Rivercrest High School in Texas, they're 1-1. And Devin Manuel in Louisiana, he won't start for a while. Louisiana is still not even practicing, so a little bit of a delay there.
And also a bummer for you, Nikki, because you got to wait a little longer to see your alma mater start the season. As Southern Methodist TCU is postponed. Not going to be the only game that happens, but at least you get a chance to watch them. Well, I don't know when they've rescheduled the game or not, but that's been postponed.
Yeah, at least got to get a little glimpse against Texas State. Not the best start, but they got the win anyways. So, yeah, got to wait to see TCU. That was a huge bummer. I mean, first they canceled it, and then they rescheduled, and then they have to cancel again because of cases or whatever. And no, I don't think they've set a new date for it, but hopefully, maybe by that point, they'll decide maybe some more fans can go in and I can actually get down to Dallas and watch that.
I know, because that's a good Metroplex rivalry. Nikki, it's always fun talking with you. It's good to have you back. Glad the mouth is feeling better, and we'll talk next week.
Thanks, y'all.
You got it. Nikki Chavanelle, the one and only from Rivals.com. Don't forget that if you own a business that needs more security or needs more curb appeal, you got to call the Fence Man. They can come over for a quick, no obligations quote, and there's nobody that knows any better about fences in the area than the Fence Man. Been doing it for over 40 years. So if you own a business that needs that security or that curb appeal, call 479-782-3936. Again, that's 479-782-3936 for the Fence Man. Fence Man is a division of Quantum Property Services. Jeff Dantzler joins us in 20 minutes to talk about the Georgia Bulldogs. Got some baseball to update you on in the next segment. Over the weekend, Dallas Keuchel picked up his 6th win. The Rangers now have the worst record in the game. What happened to my Pirates? Goodness gracious. Back after the break.